Hey guys, today on People Now, NCIS star Mark Harmon opens up exclusively to People about fame, family, and career in a rare intimate interview.
How the new alleged Tristan Thompson cheating scandal is rocking Khloé and the rest of the Kardashian family.
What's behind Lady Gaga and Christian Carino ending their engagement? We'll tell you what we've learned.
Music star Rob Thomas is here telling us all about the heartbreak that inspired his new single and what is in store for Matchbox 20 in 2020.
Plus, Bachelor and Bachelorette alum Ali Fedotowsky is here telling us her tricks to surviving and thriving as a mom of two.
It's live today on People Now. Let's go.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to People Now. Great to see you. Good to see you.
Hello, what's up?
I'm super pumped about Rob Thomas.
Oh, he was so nice, yeah.
So great, and there's some really cool stuff. We're going to be talking to him a little later.
All right, and this is really exciting. Noah Centineo is the latest heartthrob to break the internet with his new Calvin Klein photo shoot. Take a look at those abs,
There
Jeremy.
they are, for the world to see.
So he joins the next generation of Calvin models, including Shawn Mendes, A$AP Rocky, and Kendall Jenner.
Yeah, we can't forget the OG Calvin models guys as well. Talking about Mark Wahlberg, Kate Moss, Brooke Shields, even Justin Bieber. We want to know who is your favorite. You can vote in our People poll or just tweet us with the hashtag PeopleNow.
Yeah.
We're going to keep on moving on, and we're going to take an exclusive look at Noah's new campaign. We have an exclusive look at it a little bit later. Check on these results as well. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. In this week's People cover story, actor Mark Harmon is opening up about fame, family, and what he's learned during his 4 decades in Hollywood. He credits his successful career to the most influential person in his life, his father. Harmon's dad died suddenly at the age of 70 when the star was 38, but the longtime actor follows some of his dad's profound advice even today, like, quote, work your butt off and don't let it show. Well, it's definitely working. He starred on CBS's NCIS, aka the highest rated drama on network TV for the past 16 years. He's a household name, a Golden Globe and Emmy nominated actor. And we have to mention this, he was also named People's second sexiest man alive in 1986. But he doesn't seem to have let that honor go to his head. He says, I'm not about to take it seriously. And let's just say, I think maybe a few too many people have. I like a little bit of shade there in acknowledging his own sexiness or not acknowledging. I don't know. Another important role in Harmon's life, being husband and father. He's been married to Mork and Mindy actress Pam Dauber for 31 years. They share 2 grown sons. Harmon believes his long-lasting career required more than just being in the right place at the right time. The actor says, I'm a lucky guy, but you earn luck. Stick around, guys. We'll have more on Mark Harmon later in the show, including his take on when NCIS will end. That's coming up. All right, on to this. Khloé Kardashian is reportedly reeling after learning that Tristan Thompson allegedly cheated on her with Jordyn Woods, who happens to be best friends with Khloé's youngest sister, Kylie Jenner. Yikes, it's all kind of intermingled here. And TMZ and Hollywood Unlocked reported on Tuesday that Khloé and Tristan had split after she learned about this alleged scandal. Take a look.
Tristan Thompson, Khloé Kardashian's baby daddy, cheating or messing around with Kylie Jenner, Khloé Kardashian's sister's best friend, Jordyn Woods. Apparently, there's a lot of speculation. Everybody's going back and forth saying, why would Jordyn do that? That's not true. That's not true. It is true. You know why? Because one of my writers was there. And Tristan, you took everybody's phone, but you let them stay. Jordyn came in, y'all was smoking hookah, she was all up in your lap, you was all over her, touchy-feely, and you let the girl spend the night till 7 in the morning.
The best description ever. When the sunglasses came off, you knew it was getting serious. Although Khloé hasn't made an official statement, she's not keeping quiet. Kardashian responded to Hollywood Unlocked's Instagram post by posting multiple mouth-talking emojis, while Khloé's BFF Malika Hawk also commented on the post in all caps, strong facts. Larsa Pippen adding an amen. Later, Khloé's sis Kim Kardashian liked the post. So according to the response to that post, that's the way of speaking out, I guess. Within an hour of the reports, Tristan Thompson tweeted a post saying fake news. That tweet since been deleted. This alleged scandal comes as a major blow to the Kardashians. Jordyn is best friends and lives with Kylie Jenner and is in general a close friend of the family. She even models for Khloé's fashion brand Good American. This news also comes nearly a year after videos leaked of Thompson getting cozy with other women. We remember this. It was just days before Khloé gave birth to their daughter True. All kinds of drama surrounding that and a lot to unpack here. We're going to talk more about this later in the show, so stick around for that. All right, guys, Lady Gaga's engagement to Christian Carino, it has ended. A source tells People that the pair split up a bit ago, as they put it, and that there's no dramatic story. It just didn't work out. Speculation about the couple's status began when eagle-eyed fans noticed Gaga was not wearing her engagement ring at the Grammy Awards February 10th and did not thank Carino in her acceptance speech after her song Shallow won for Best Pop Duo or Group Performance. She also didn't seem to celebrate Valentine's Day with Carino. Instead, she posted a picture on Instagram revealing that she got a La Vie en Rose tattoo inspired by her role in A Star is Born. Now, Gaga revealed that she was engaged to Carino, a talent agent, in October of 2018 at Elle's 25th annual Women in Hollywood celebration, where she referred to him as her fiancé during her honoree speech. People exclusively confirmed the two were dating in February of 2017 after the couple was spotted at a Kings of Leon concert. A source told People in October that after Gaga ended her 5-year relationship with Taylor Kenny, she wasn't expecting to find love so quickly with Carino, but that he was a good grounding force who understood her career. Of course, we wish them both the best as they move forward. Well, guys, on to this. Shannon Doherty appears on the cover of the March issue of Health magazine, opening up about her battle with breast cancer. The 47-year-old actress, who went into remission 2 years ago, reflects on how her life has changed from diagnosis to treatment and surgery. She tells the magazine, "I felt more feminine and vulnerable than I've felt in my entire life. I was always used to being the strong one, and during that time period, every wall I'd built up in my life came down." She added, "I cut myself some slack. It's okay to stumble." Doherty, who underwent a mastectomy and excruciating courses of chemotherapy and radiation, often leaned on her husband of 7 years. Photographer Kurt Iswarenko saying the hardship made the couple even stronger. But things got worse before they got better. Doherty remembers some particularly hard times in chemo, saying they were worried about my organs shutting down because I couldn't keep anything in. One time I couldn't lift my head, I couldn't suck on an ice cube, I was done. Kurt was crying, saying, "Please don't leave me." Really heartbreaking story and recount there on her part. And Doherty used that moment as motivation to charge forward through treatment. In October, she was outspoken on social media about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, advocating for women to get mammograms. She wrote, "As scary as it can be, it's also comforting when you get the all clear. Early detection can be the key for some. Don't put it off." That was her statement about it. And she also shared a photo from shortly after her first chemotherapy session, writing, "I remember thinking it couldn't get much worse. I was wrong, yet here I am today. I don't think I've yet discovered all the ways cancer changed me. I am a work in progress, and I'm okay with that." Now, Doherty is proud that her body was able to take on the disease, saying, "As brutal as it was, cancer was a gift." Which is really interesting that she has that kind of perspective on this end of things. And Andrea, you have more for us in Star Tracks today.
Yes, I do. We're kicking off Star Tracks today with Smitten Spice. See what I did there, Jeremy?
I love it.
This summer will mark 20 years of marriage for Victoria Beckham, aka Posh Spice, and her husband, David Beckham. And 20 years is a huge milestone, of course, but Victoria says that they're not planning an over-the-top vow renewal or anything too radical to celebrate. She says they'll probably just do something low-key with their 4 kids. But don't worry, low-key is not how we describe her love for her man. During an interview to discuss her fall and winter clothing lines, the former Spice Girl took a moment to gush about David. She says he's a great husband, a great dad, and the most incredible business partner, adding, "He really supports me in what I do." And she's staying so busy, she probably needs that support. She said that her new clothing lines are the biggest she's ever created, with more looks than ever before. And she's also launching her own YouTube channel where she will share her life and fashion adventures. Very excited about that. As for the upcoming Spice Girls tour, Beckham continues to confirm she will not be joining the rest of the girls during their tour this year, saying, "I couldn't do it, and you know, I'm so busy doing what I'm doing now, but I will always be a Spice Girl, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to do. Every time I do an interview, I don't want to sound like absolutely not. I don't want to be mean in any way. I love the idea of it, but the reality is that it won't happen. They'll be great." I think she's got plenty of other work to focus on, right?
It won't happen.
You do you. All right, moving on to this. Meghan Markle had a busy day in New York City on Tuesday. We haven't seen her, Jeremy, yet, though. We've been trying to
as much as we tried.
The mom-to-be stepped out to attend her baby shower with some of her famous friends. And even though she already had a full day of events, the Duchess of Sussex continued the celebration with a night on the town, including a fancy dinner with famous tennis star and close friend Serena Williams. They've been close since they met at the Super Bowl in 2010. Also joining them was Marcus Anderson, who reportedly introduced Meghan to her husband, Prince Harry. And Toronto-based stylist Jessica Mulroney was there as well. She's styled Meghan in the past, and her 3 children served important roles in Meghan's bridal party at a royal wedding back in May of 2018. Now, earlier on Tuesday, Meghan was seen entering the New York City hotel where the baby shower was held. Afterwards, she left the shower with a friend to check out some art nearby before grabbing a bite to eat at a French restaurant. Now, it was nonstop fun for the Duchess, but hopefully now she's somewhere resting her feet. Of course, she is due with her and Prince Harry's first child in April. All right, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Netflix heartthrob Noah Centineo is the newest star to strip down to his underwear for Calvin Klein. We have this exclusive photo for you guys. Don't say we never do anything for you. The 22-year-old is making his debut in the spring 2019 Calvin Klein jeans and underwear campaign titled #MyCalvins. Noah told people that he was not hesitant at all to strip down for the shoot, saying the experience was authentic and comfortable and that he would love to do it again. We would love that too, Noah. He did admit to joining a gym in preparation, although I feel like Noah's been working out. I don't think it's the first time he got in the gym. As part of the campaign announcement, this clip of Noah was also released. The video was shot in suburban Los Angeles with the aim of capturing the, quote, raw and honest emotions and experiences of youth today. Okay, I see it.
They love riding around in jeans on a bike.
Now, in case you were wondering, boxers or briefs, I think we're all wondering, Noah admits he's actually a boxer briefs kind of guy. He also adds that his mom was very excited about her son being in a Calvin Klein campaign.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm sure they're looking at these pictures together. Noah isn't the only hottie joining the CK family. Shawn Mendes also bears it all in the campaign. A lot of people are talking about this picture. He's opened up about how incredible it is that youth these days are speaking so loudly and people are listening more than ever. Kendall Jenner also returns to the campaign this year. What does youth mean to her? She says she doesn't think youth has an end, adding, I think it's all in your soul and how you feel. I love that. And rounding off the campaign is rapper A$AP Rocky, who believes that youth represents a fresh start at any age. That's amazing too. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
It's like looking in a mirror.
I was gonna say, looking at those pictures make me feel real bad sometimes.
Stay with us, guys. We hear from the Vanderpump Rules gang. They are talking Jax and Brittany's wedding menu, wild nights out, and the key to making real reality TV. Plus, we'll be joined live by former Bachelorette Ali Fedotowsky. We'll be chatting all about mom life, married life, maybe a little Bachelor as well. That's coming up in just a bit.
All right, guys, we took a look at Noah Centineo's fly new Calvin Klein campaign and got us wondering who your favorite classic Calvin Klein models are. Let's check in on our polls so far. Let's see.
I knew Mark Wahlberg was going to take it.
I thought Justin Bieber was going to get a little more love.
Bieber's was a big splash, but Mark Wahlberg is kind of the quintessential iconic CK ad.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Guys, you can keep voting on our People poll, and now we move on to this.
So we mentioned earlier in the show that actor Mark Harmon is this week's People cover story. The actor's opening up about life on and off the screen.
So he speaks out about how influential his father was in his life. His father died at 70 years old. Mark was 38 at the time, and tragically, he even had another loss more recently with the death of his sister last year. She was 72, so he's kind of been through a lot of loss.
Yeah, now, the actor has a really interesting quote about life. So this is what he says. He says, quote, everyone gets in their car each morning thinking they'll get to where they're going, but one of those days you won't. It might be your day not to make it. It might be the day someone you love doesn't make it, but sooner or later, that day rolls around. So until then, the least you can do is wake up each morning happy with where you're headed. I turn on the light every morning and I feel good.
I suspect one of the reasons he feels so good, Mark Harmon has been married for 31 years to actress Pam Dauber. The two share 2 adult sons, and when it comes to marriage, here's what he has to say. Quote, I'm proud to be married. I'm proud of who I'm married to. I'm just so proud of her. You can tell.
Love that. He has that support, you know?
I should mention this as well. As we said a little earlier, he was People's Sexiest Man Alive in 1986. He doesn't consider himself a sex symbol, that's what he says, but you can't really say that, right? I mean, so, do you consider yourself a sex symbol?
I mean,
why, yes, I do. No one can say
I would embrace it, honestly, right? But the actor doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. He says an actor is always looking for his next job, that there's no end in sight for the show. So, I mean, that's obviously good. The show's been going on for a while. He says he'll leave when the writers have nowhere to take the story. So basically when the ink dries up.
Never stop. Until then, though, Harmon, he's happy to keep reporting for duty. He says that he's from what he calls working stock. He says you have to get up every day and just try hard. I
working
love that.
stock. I like to talk about that. Actually, I'm from a farm. Is that working stock? I think so.
I think if anybody's working stock, a farm. Okay. Farm life is working, for sure.
But talking about the success of NCIS, it's not at all lost on him. It's in its 16th season. It birthed 2 spin-offs. Its #1 drama on network TV has more than 12 million viewers, which is really incredible.
Here's what Mark Harmon says, quote, there are such talented people who have been here from the very beginning who are responsible for this show running when it shouldn't have. I've never lost sight of that. You can tell he really appreciates it, doesn't take it for granted, even this many years in.
Yeah. All right, you guys, moving on to this. We've been talking about this very dramatic, alleged Khloé Tristan-Jordyn Woods cheating scandal. It's pretty crazy.
Unfortunately, Tristan has been unfaithful to Khloé in the past, at least based on what we've heard. Jordyn Woods, she's kind of the surprise here.
So if you're just hearing about Jordyn Woods, we have some info, right? Okay, she's a model. She's all about body positivity. She's even posed for Good American, which is Khloé Kardashian's company.
All right, but the big connection here, not to be lost, she is Kylie Jenner's best friend and roommate.
Well, if you follow Kylie Jenner at all, you know about Jordyn Woods. That's what's crazy.
How does this affect their relationship? Or a better question, is there any relationship left after this?
Okay, but a reminder, this is all alleged right now. We'll get to this. Tristan did deny it. You never really know, right?
Yeah, I posted the thing, fake news, took it away. What does that mean? We don't know. But what's going to happen moving forward is the real question. Tristan obviously will always be in their lives. He and Khloé have a baby together. So no matter how this all settles down, they're connected.
But you don't want to upset the Kardashian family, right? So for Jordyn and Tristan, you're in hot water. I mean, the Kardashian family, they were very vocal last year when the videos leaked of Tristan getting cozy with other women.
Cozy.
Yeah, Kim was the most vocal on the situation. It led to Tristan actually blocking her on Instagram.
Which in that world is a huge shade.
Yeah.
Hollywood Unlocked initially reported this alleged sort of cheating and everything going on. Hollywood Unlocked reported on Tuesday that Khloé and Tristan had split after she learned about these new cheating allegations. Here is that clip.
Tristan Thompson, Khloé Kardashian's baby daddy, cheating or messing around with Kylie Jenner, Khloé Kardashian's sister's best friend, Jordyn Woods. Apparently, there's a lot of speculation. Everybody's going back and forth saying, why would Jordyn do that? That's not true. That's not true. It is true. You know why? Because one of my writers was there. And Tristan, you took everybody's phone, but you let them stay. Jordyn came in, y'all was smoking hookah, she was all up in your lap, you was all over her, touchy-feely, and you let the girl spend the night till 7 in the morning.
I just want to say, Hollywood Unlocked is having a moment.
Of course, a beauty moment. Look at this. Okay, so her friends left comments. Kim Kardashian also liked the post. Tristan, quick to respond, posted then deleted a tweet. Like I said, the whole fake news thing. What does his tweet then delete a tweet mean? Maybe he just wants to remove himself from the social media conversation.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna find out some more about this coming up in the next couple days. It's so hard to believe for me that Jordyn Woods would do this. I mean, she's best friends with Kylie. She was a model for Khloé Kardashian's clothing brand. So that's why this is so bizarre for me.
Can Khloé trust him? Can Khloé trust Jordyn? More importantly, will all of this unfold in the next season?
Was this orchestrated by Kris Jenner?
Was it orchestrated?
And you were talking about it.
We have no reason to believe that, but it makes for good TV and a lot of buzz.
All right, we'll keep you posted.
Saying.
All right, moving on to something very different. In this week's People, we are learning more about Lee Radziwill, the younger sister of Jackie Kennedy Onassis, who passed away on February 15th, nearly 25 years after her sister's death.
Although Radziwill was seemingly overshadowed in some ways by Jackie, who thrust them into the spotlight after she married former President John F. Kennedy, Radziwill had one thing her sister never had, and that was a real sense of freedom.
Yeah, so she lived this long, full life. Now, despite people's idea that she was the lesser-known sister, Radziwill really established herself as a fashion icon and socialite.
W magazine even described her as one of the best-dressed and most elegant women of modern American history, which is obviously an incredible accolade to
I mean, at the time, like these sisters, that's what everyone was talking about. And she really refused to let her life be shaped by the myth that she was the less famous sister. She truly relished being able to live in the moment.
Here's one of her quotes. She once said, "If I see an orchid that's fantastically expensive, I'll buy it for no other reason than it gives me pleasure."
I mean, I wasn't sure how expensive orchids were, but I guess I get it.
Point is, she just freewheel, can kind of live as she pleases.
Lots of orchids.
Lots of freedom.
Her life seemed very different than Jackie Kennedy's. She spent time as a brand ambassador for Giorgio Armani, an interior designer, and a fashion event planner, so she did a lot.
She even had a brief acting career. Wasn't happy about doing it, though. She later said that Hollywood was a disappointment.
Surprise.
I think when you have a life like hers, something like Hollywood loses its appeal, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, she spent her life as this stylish jet setter, socialite. She had iconic friends like Andy Warhol, Truman Capote. Now, she became a Serene Highness in 1959 when she married Polish Prince Radziwill.
It's a distinction.
Yes, it is. So the pair had 2 kids, daughter Christina, son Anthony, and Lee lost her son Anthony at the age of 40 to cancer.
Anthony's widow, Carole Radziwill, who starred on Real Housewives of New York City, remembers her mother-in-law as one of a kind. She revealed that they fell into this comfortable routine, casual dinners, easy conversations between the two of them, even calling their relationship kind of a lovely friendship.
I mean, you don't always have that relationship with your mother-in-law. And she describes Lee as frail in her 80s, but still strong-willed, formidable, and playful. It's nice to hear that Carole had such a nice friendship with her mother-in-law. You don't often hear that, like I said.
All right, guys, moving on to this. Raise your glasses high if you've been keeping up with all the drama from Vanderpump Rules this season. Lisa Vanderpump has built a restaurant empire in LA. The show follows the friendships, relationships, and drama that go along with the whole thing.
A lot of drama. Lisa sat down with people to talk about the real behind the reality series, why fans still love it after 6 years on the air. Watch.
A good reality show, the most important component should be authenticity. Because if you're faking it, the audience is smart. They see through that. And you could really film Vanderpump Rules all year. It could keep going because we've seen when the cameras are down, they're still at each other's birthdays. They're still on vacation with each other. They're still at each other's wedding. You know, that's the way they are.
So Lisa's got a lot of love for her former employees turned business partners, Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval. They opened a swanky LA cocktail bar called Tom Tom. Has gotten a lot of buzz.
But does the new responsibility mean the boys might need to tone it down while filming? Here's what Tom and Tom had to say about having some of their wildest nights on camera.
You know, waking up with the Sunday scaries, you know, after, you know, 1 or 2 nights of drinking is never fun. But having that documented, knowing that it was all filmed, I mean, then it becomes the waiting game. Then it becomes like please don't let that make it in there.
Yeah.
Please don't let them make it in there.
You
Can I go
sometimes
skinny dipping? What?
Oh, you're on your knees praying to the reality TV gods that
Yes.
you blacking out and crying about something you don't even remember doesn't make it. Yeah.
All right, so they do have a little bit of regret. I would think they could call up the producers and say, please don't include that. I don't know. What I've always wondered is how the queen, Lisa Vanderpump, can keep it all together this whole time,
Yeah,
right?
so Ariana Maddox, who's dating Tom Sandoval, revealed the biggest difference between Vanderpump Lisa and Real Housewives Lisa. Take a look.
On our show, she has all the power, and she basically just has like a bunch of minions. And so I think she has a much easier time on our show dealing with us than she ever would with Housewives, where it's like, her filming Housewives is probably like us filming our show. And her filming our show is basically like,
We don't know
comes
what
in, makes
that
a couple
feels like.
jokes, and then, you know, whatever.
And would it really be a Vanderpump party without some deets on Brittany Cartwright and Jax Taylor's upcoming wedding?
No.
I don't think so. Brittany gave us an idea of what her picture-perfect Kentucky nuptials are gonna look like. It all starts with the food. Watch.
Where I'm getting married in Kentucky at the Kentucky Castle, having Kentucky proud things at my wedding is very important to me. I mean, bourbon balls, Kentucky hot browns, I mean, everything that you can think of.
What's a Kentucky hot brown? What's a hot brown?
A hot brown is like, it's like a piece of bread, a toast or something with a cooked tomato, turkey, smothered in gravy and bacon.
Okay.
And it is amazing.
That was a sneak peek of Rob Thomas's new song, One Less Day, releasing today. He's also announced a new album, Chip Tooth Smile, which is available for pre-order now. He joins us now in the studio. Hello, Rob. How's it going?
So cool to see you. Great to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Huge fan. Soundtrack of my high school and college
Right on.
life. We'll talk more about that in a bit, but let's talk about the new single. Some interesting lyrics in there. We didn't hear them there, but soon after that, there are some lyrics that reference friends that have gone too soon. Talk to me about the inspiration for that. Who's in mind there as you wrote those lyrics? Or
When I was writing the song, it was over like a 1.5 year period, and it was from like one Christmas to another. And like 2 years ago, we lost George Michael on Christmas night, and that was a big blow. He was a friend of our family. And then the next year, like on the day after Christmas, we lost one of our best friends in the world, a guy named Jason Browning. And so I think, you know, the idea, I'd already written this chorus of the idea of instead of being afraid of getting older, the idea of embracing it, because the alternative is pretty bleak. And so getting older isn't a privilege that's been afforded to everyone. And there are more and more people, I think, that have to worry about that. There's teens that want to make it to their 20s and 20-year-olds that want to make it to their 30s. And so I think the idea of embracing every day and getting older was a better way to look at it.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I love that. And then your album's called Chip Tooth Smile, and that's based on you, right? You have a chip tooth.
Just a little-
but
just
it's
a
not
little
that
nick there.
bad.
When I was like 19, I was in a club and I was slam dancing. That's how.
Wait,
was the
what
thing.
is
That was the
what's
90s,
slam
right.
dancing for people that don't know?
It's just where a bunch of idiots listen to loud music and run around and beat each other up while they dance.
And chip their teeth in
And,
the
yeah, chip your
process.
teeth. And when I did it, it was horrible. Like it was really, really cracked, you know. But now it's over the years, it kind of files down. But my wife, when I met my wife, and I finally like made enough money where I could have dental work, I had some stuff done, but she would never let me fix the crack because she liked my chip tooth smile, and that's what she always said.
That's
I
super
love that.
sweet.
Also,
It's
you and your
yeah, it
wife
really
have like
is.
the sweetest love story
Yeah.
ever, and I love when
She's
you
kind of
post
the best.
about
Yeah,
she's
she's
amazing.
kind of the best.
Like this is one of the things I love the most about you. Don't get rid of that.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that I feel like my butt just keeps coming at me? Every day?
We did that on purpose.
Yeah, it is a thing. It's a lot of movement there. Hitting the road on tour this summer. What's your favorite part of touring?
You know, everything about it. Like, I love waking up in the morning and stepping out of a bus into a new city that I didn't go to sleep in, and I like hearing the sound of the bus and walking through and seeing like everybody that's been there all morning getting the show together and all the gear and getting it up. And the fact that, you know, these people wake up at 6 in the morning, they come in, they put this whole show together, and then as soon as we're done, they tear it back down by 2 in the morning and we're moving on somewhere else. It's a miracle to me every night that it gets off the ground.
Connecting with your people, that's got to be great.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable thing because everything else you do in a vacuum. You know, you make a record alone in the studio, and then you go out and you do promotion, and you have no idea, other than maybe a couple of lines on Twitter, how people are responding to it. But you actually get to see in real time how those songs have kind of. And if you're lucky enough to do it for 20 years, like I've been, you get to watch these people grow up, and you get to see them come with their kids now.
Also, it's the 20th anniversary of your collaboration with Santana.
It is.
The
That's
mega
this
hit
year.
song "Smooth." So 20 years later, like, what's your fondest memory of working with him?
You know, I think it's the ongoing relationship that we have. Like, Carlos has just become a really, really good friend of mine and my family's, and we talk very regularly, and we try and hook up whenever we're out on the road together. So I think having that guy as a mentor and a friend has been probably the best thing that came out.
It's cool that you've maintained that relationship. Let's talk about this. The song won you 3 Emmys. It's the #1 song in Billboard's top Hot 100 rock songs chart history. #2 Hot 100 song of all time. Did you realize it was going to be such a standout as it was kind of coming together?
No. My wife did. Like, when I wrote it at the apartment, I played it for her, and she's like, oh, this is going to be really big. I didn't know it was even a single. I thought they were going to go with one of the other songs on the record until I was walking down Soho. I was like right on like West Broadway and Spring or something. And this car, I hear it coming down the road, and this car stops at the red light, and it's just a car full of just really attractive girls in a convertible just blaring that song. And I'm like, ooh, that's me. That's me.
My wife was right.
Yeah, I was like, baby, hot
right.
girl song.
Yeah. I'm sure you have many amazing stories from over the years.
Many.
But we were doing our research. There was one story where you missed a Prince concert because you were hanging out with Hanson.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened there? And do you have any regrets?
Okay, first off, let me say that Hanson are lovely. They're really the nicest guys ever. You know, like I think in America's mind, there's still these little kids, you know, singing But now they're
doing new music now, right?
Yeah, they are. They're playing like sold out shows, and they have kids and families, and they're just really nice. But I spent all day with them at Paul from Matchbox 20. I was at his house at a barbecue, and we spent all day just chugging beers. And then I left to go. It wasn't just a Prince concert. It was Prince at the Roosevelt Hotel. It was like seeing Prince in a room this size.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Very
invite
intimate,
only.
yeah.
It was unbelievable. I sat down in the front row, and about 10 minutes before he came out, I got violently ill, and I had to rush back to my hotel and miss everything.
Wow.
No.
That's really sad.
So, and it wasn't. This is obviously it's nothing against Hanson, but it's like they're not Prince. I'm not Prince. You're not Prince.
Matchbox 20, as I said, soundtrack of my life previously. You guys last toured in 2017, right?
Yeah. We just had. So the summer before last was our 20th anniversary of the first record. So we went out and just supported that.
And then last put out an album in 2012. I guess my point. Any more music in the works?
Yes,
What's it look
I
like?
think I think that. I had this record I've been working on, so the solo record was like the priority for me, just to get those songs out of my head.
Yeah.
But I think that we would be remiss to be called Matchbox 20 and not do something in 2020.
It makes
the optics are too good.
Yeah, you're right.
So we're definitely gonna try and do something, put out some new music and go tour.
All right.
Okay, I want to know favorite Matchbox song to sing live. If you had to choose. I know it's probably hard.
No, probably Bright Lights. We have a song called Bright Lights, and I think it's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. Is there? And maybe it's the same answer. The song that you wake up singing. I mean, there's so many for me that I just wake up and it's like, oh, this has been in my head all night. Do you have one like that?
Yeah, but they're never my song. Well, like right now, this song, my new single, just because it keep playing it like in radio stations and stuff, and so it's been stuck in my head. But no, like normally it's like some weird ABBA song or like a weird Bee Gees song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like something that I heard somewhere peripherally, and then I just can't get it stuck out of my head. You know those moments?
Yeah.
You know what I heard you do psychologically when that happens? When you have a song that's stuck in your head and over and over and over, and you can't get out. In your mind, finish the song. Go to the end of the song,
and it'll close.
Play it out in your head, and it closes out for you. And
it's like it resolves.
You gotta sing the entire Baby Shark.
Baby Shark. It's gotta end somehow. My
You
God.
gotta get to the end of that.
Can I ask you one other quick thing? We mentioned earlier about the new song and this whole idea of reflecting and looking around at the other Brockers and tragedies that have happened with people that were kind of coming up to the music business when you were. How did you avoid some of the pitfalls that grabbed other people?
You know, I mean, some of them very narrowly. I mean, when I was young and you're making bad decisions and you're lucky enough to have some kind of success, it's almost like you're given this key to the city to go do things, you know, and you make a lot of bad decisions. I think I was lucky that we got to make a lot of them in the early 90s when it wasn't all over social media and your mistakes were your own and you just could own them. I also had a really good group of people around me, the people in my management and the people in my band. We all kind of took care of each other and would kind of watch each other when they started to get out of line. And then I've been married for the last 20 years, and we have a really great relationship, and I think there's a center there that kind of keeps you grounded and makes you realize what's important.
Makes a lot of sense. Rob, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Good to talk to you.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
The nominations for the Academy of Country Music Awards were announced Wednesday morning on CBS by the award show's host, Reba McEntire.
Dan and Shay lead with 6 nominations. Love these guys, fresh off their Grammy Award, of course, for Best Country Duo Group Performance for Tequila, which is basically on repeat these days.
Very
in my
catchy.
house. They got ACM noms, including Duo of the Year, Song of the Year, Single of the Year, and Video of the Year.
And Dan and Shay have been on People Now a lot, so we're definitely rooting for them. Chris Stapleton grabbed nominations in many categories as well, including Male Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, Entertainer of the Year. He actually lost that last year to Keith Urban. I'm feeling like it's his year.
That's it, do it. But when reading off the nominees for the Entertainer of the Year, Reba a bit displeased to see the lack of female representation. Take a look.
Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, Kenny Chesney, Chris Stapleton, and Keith Urban.
No women on that list.
And no
Reba.
women on
What do you
this
think about? What do you make of that?
Well, it doesn't make me very happy.
Yeah.
Because we've got some very talented women who are out there working their butts off.
I do find this so shocking. So one of the women that she's probably talking about is Casey Musgraves, right? So she did earn noms for Female Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, and Song of the Year, but she was one of the top artists at this year's Grammy Awards, so it's super surprising she didn't pick up Entertainer of the Year nom.
Yeah, to have all those other nominations.
It's really disappointing, honestly.
Yeah, then to be left out of that. Anyway, other nominees include Lady Antebellum and Little Big Town for Group of the Year, Miranda Lambert and Carrie Underwood for Female Artist of the Year, and newcomer Luke Combs for New Male Artist of the Year.
Jeremy loves Luke
I'm
Combs.
rooted for Luke the whole way.
Reba is set to host the ACM Awards for the 16th time, April 7th on CBS from MGM Grand's Arena in Las Vegas.
Cannot wait for that show. We are now joined live by former Bachelorette and Bachelor alum, Ali Fedotowsky. Ali, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
A lot going on. We're going to get to a little bit of Bachelor talk later, but we have other stuff first.
Yeah, first, let's talk. You have 2 kids now. So you had Riley last May, coming up on a year in a few months. I mean, how's the whirlwind been?
It's crazy. I mean, it's nuts. Do you have kids?
Oh, no, I don't have kids.
You have 2 kids, so you know. So it's like people, always said that like 1 is hard, but 2 is like 10 times as hard. It's so true. Like it's just been a whirlwind. It's like the first year of Molly's life, I remember people saying, it's gonna go so fast. After a year, I was like, this is the longest year of my life.
Right?
Yeah, when does it go faster? But with Riley, my second, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's 9 months. What is going on?
Yeah.
Slow down time. So it's crazy.
I just like to listen to the horror stories from you guys, and then I'll just wait a little longer.
Like you kind of feel like you lived through it vicariously.
Yeah.
More
It's
prepared
the
the second time around, or what? What did you?
Oh yeah, more prepared. I feel like it all just came naturally the second time around. It's like they say, like Riley's so happy, and people are like, oh, is that boy versus girl? And I'm like, no, it's Riley's the classic second child. Like the first child is more needy because you're like, oh my gosh, am I doing everything right? Whereas the second child, you're like, put him on the floor. The dog can take care of him.
Right.
You're just like more relaxed.
Yeah,
so.
people always love to track along with you and your fashion. You had great fashion even while pregnant. What was the key to kind of looking effortless while juggling all of that?
My key for any woman out there who's expecting, I think, this is gonna sound weird at first, tight clothes that accentuates your bump so you look pregnant rather than just drowning in like a muumuu.
That makes sense.
With a duster on over it, so it covers your backside in areas where you maybe don't want to see. So that way you can see the big belly, it's fitted, but you're covered everywhere else. That was like my main thing.
All right.
But yeah, I had fun. I had fun dressing my bump. Like it is fun to do. But the first time, I feel like I watched my diet a little bit more, whereas the second time, I did not watch my diet so much, and I gained a lot more weight than I'm still dealing with. But whatever.
What was your biggest craving?
Probably ice cream with both. I just ate ice cream because I think I'm used to having a glass of wine at the end of the night, and I couldn't do that when I was pregnant. So it was like, I need something else.
Yeah.
A tub of ice cream.
I think a tub of ice cream is currently my biggest craving as we speak. I'm not pregnant. First few months after Riley was born, you talked about your husband, Kevin, and you were sleeping in separate beds. That was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And we talked about it
We
here.
were.
Now, though, sleeping back together in the...
We're back in bed. We're back in bed.
How does it feel to be back? It must be so nice.
Really? No, I'm kidding.
Jeremy wants all the details.
No, I'm kidding. It's great. I mean, look, when we slept together in separate beds, it was out of necessity. We needed sleep as new parents, and he had to go to work, and I had to go to work some days, so it worked for us. But yes, we're back in bed together. But our relationship's still not the same. It's not. We have 2 young kids, 2 kids, 2 and under, and like we don't do date nights nearly as much as we should. Like the other day, we were like hugging in the kitchen and gave each other a kiss, and Molly was like, "Oh, Mommy and Daddy give hugs," and I was like, I didn't like that. That was surprising to her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, Mommy and Daddy should give hugs more often in front of our children. So like, we're still getting back to that like passionate place because it's hard. We're tunnel vision right now. We're like, just survive, just survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you told people that the relationship kind of caused. The baby caused your relationship to kind of suffer. Not as many makeout sessions.
Yeah,
Have you been able to kind of like work through that though?
We're still not having as many makeout sessions, I would say. But, and like, for instance, before kids, we never fought. Like, if people were like, oh, I fought with my husband all the time or my boyfriend, I'd be like, Kevin and I just don't fight. Since kids, we fight. We do.
Yeah.
Over stupid things like what time somebody put Molly down for her nap. Did you put her down a half hour too early? Like, just silly things. And we're still working on a relationship. But, like, our relationship's solid. It's awesome. But I know that, like, it's going to get to a more romantic place. Like right now, we are just, like I said, tunnel vision.
By the way, I think it's really helpful to hear people like you talk about that because it's just a reality that a lot of people live through, and it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just this is the phase you're in, and you're working through it together. It's not like, hey, it's all terrible and it's never going to be good again.
And I only had my baby. I only had Riley 8 months ago. Like my body for the first 6 months was still recovering. I had to have a surgery because like my placenta didn't come out, so I had to have a surgery to remove it. So like things weren't normal down there. So I was just like, I don't even want you touching me because I don't feel right to myself, but.
So you learn and you grow and you make it work. Your daughter Molly, let's talk about this, has her own Instagram. Here, the bio reads, my mommy thinks I'm a future bachelorette. I could not agree more.
I mean, look at that face,
Do you curate this? Do you work on it?
She's practicing her ninja moves
doing her thing
for the bachelorette. No, if she wants to be the bachelorette one day, go for it. I mean, oh my gosh.
How are you seeing her personality grow as she gets older?
She is just smart. I mean, I can already see like she has some sass and she's super smart. Like she is going to be a CEO or like a boss or a businesswoman. Like she is really, really, really smart. And I see that. I felt that from the beginning. She was always serious, even as a baby. Whereas Riley's like the happiest guy ever. He's just going to be like a stay-at-home dad or like a comedian. He's just like
I love how you can already tell.
You know, like,
he does look very happy. Like his pictures are so smiley.
Yeah. And they love each other. They love each other so much. So it's so great.
Does Molly like kind of feel like taking care of the little baby? Is she in that?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like it's Riley everything. If anything, we have to keep them separate.
Yeah.
Like she'll smother him or like break his arm because she's like, Riley, I love you so much, and she just wants to like be on top of him all the time. And like they've been really sick lately a lot recently, so we've had to like keep them separated for that because we're like, Molly, don't give him a cold. Like you need to like stay separate.
Good luck keeping that separate. It just goes to the whole family. By the way, Molly, quite the schmoozer with the stars. There's a picture with Ed Sheeran. Want to talk about what's the story here and what was that meeting, the encounter like? She's starstruck.
I know, right? My husband, Kevin Mano, he is a radio DJ in LA. He co-hosts a radio show. So they have artists in all the time doing interviews, and we never had like any help or babysitter or nanny or even family for like the first year of Molly's life. So when I would have to go to work, I would drop Molly off at the radio station to be with Kevin. And so Ed Sheeran was there one day and she got a selfie with Ed Sheeran.
So
super
great.
casual.
I know, like no big deal.
So obviously, Bachelor Nation, they know you from The Bachelor, Jake Pavelka's season, and then The Bachelorette. Are you watching the current season? Do you have thoughts on it? Do you follow along?
Oh my gosh, I watch every season. I blog every season on my blog. Like I am into it. I think Colton's great. I think there's a reason ratings are so high. I think of Virgin. I know the storyline has been played way up, but I think it's interesting. Like he's this handsome guy who plays football, who played football, who like never had sex. Like that's interesting. Let's watch this guy. So I get that, but I feel like this season, the only thing that I'm kind of like about is that the show, and any producer even of the show will tell you this, is that the show has become such a way to just become Instagram famous and like make a living off Instagram that like it's so hard to get like a genuine group in there.
Right.
But I'm not saying the girls aren't genuine. It's just hard to have genuine intentions when you know what's afterwards. And then a lot of the people, like Cassie, for instance, was on a reality show already once before. Again, nothing against her. She seems lovely.
It just taints the purity of it,
Yeah,
right?
like how can she be naive going into this situation looking for love? She understands reality TV. And then Hannah, the Hannah that's still on the show, she's a blogger and an influencer online already. She already had like over 100,000 followers going on the show. So her main job is to get followers. So she's got to have that in the back of her head
You're
going on
saying
the
they
show.
might not
You're a little
be
too
there for
savvy.
the right reason.
What, I miss the old days when just honest, true love was found on the show.
But
and
not
it
at
was
fault to them. Like, you know, it's like.
Oh, it's smart.
It is
you know?
smart. I'm like, you guys are being like businesswomen, go for it. But it's just hard to have like a genuine
Let me ask you this. In the last episode, we saw Colton hearing all these other voices from other women saying that some of the other women aren't here for the right reasons. Do you think, having lived through the experience, that he should listen to those pieces of information or that gossip? Is it, or just kind of take it as a grain of salt, brush it off, and move on?
I think you have to trust your gut, but at the same time, like, you know, I like that he's listening to people. I wanted the guys to tell things to me on my season.
Really?
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
And you,
Well, because,
yeah.
and then you kind of rewarded that behavior, right?
Yeah, I was just like, cool, thanks for telling me type of deal. But I didn't like get them, pin them against each other and say like, I think Colton's getting a little bit too much into it.
She
like,
said this, right? He just straight up says it.
Yeah,
like-
it's a little too much, but I don't know. He's got to get down to his truth. So he's
Tasha
gonna do what he
has been
to.
spilling dirt on other contestants. What are your thoughts on that, though? If you're actually someone trying to win the suitor's heart, like, should you be kind of going around and spreading the gossip? Is that a good strategy?
I think that's not a good strategy. I think that she, because they're not really giving a reason as to why, or like what they exactly said about The Bachelorette or what they said about Colton. She's saying like, oh, we just thought it was you guys. So it's weird. I feel like there's something going around behind the scenes that we're not seeing.
But I feel like
don't know
if they
what
did
that
say
is.
it, that the producers would just roll the tape of them saying it because we've
Yeah.
been talking about it so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it. It's
So
weird.
the hometowns are coming up. Obviously, for every Bachelor fan, that's such a big week, such a big experience.
Yeah.
From the other side of it, though, how important is that? Do you go into that actually knowing what your mind's made up, or does it change anything?
I knew from night one.
Yeah.
You know, like my top two people. So no, I think at this point Colton knows at least his top two girls, and no, it doesn't matter at this point what happens at hometown.
It would have to be
Well,
so catastrophic to
yeah.
change something.
So no advice for Colton moving forward. Is there any piece of advice for a future Bachelor or him at this stage?
I think at this stage, no advice. You just got to go with your heart. I think afterwards, like if you're with someone who, you know, you're supposed to be with, then like stay with them and make it work. But if it's not working, then just get out of the relationship. Because I think people in the show, because of the fame, stay in the relationships too long. So, you know.
Yeah. So looking at this, you got a puppy, you got two
Yeah.
kids, you got a husband, you're staying very busy, also
know.
working with Puffs, as it
Yes.
turns out, as a partner, fighting flu season, which anyone with kids and families knows.
Yes.
Again, like
Well,
we
how-
mentioned.
how close are your kids?
So they're 4 and 7. So it's like there's a 3-year thing. But once something hits, it just goes through the whole family. It's super important to kind of.
Right. Well, and at those ages, they're in school.
Right.
So I'm sure they're sick
All the time.
The time. Like, as a mom, that was one of the biggest surprises to me when I became a parent, is that, well, one, Molly, I was all proud when she was a baby. I'm like, she's never been sick. This is amazing. It's my powerful breast milk, like helping her stay healthy. But then when she went to preschool, like 6 months ago, sick nonstop. She's
Yeah.
never been
What's
healthy
wrong with
since,
this kid?
right?
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh. And now she's giving it to Riley. So for me, like, we have Puffs plus lotion in our house everywhere, not just in the winter, but in like the spring because of allergies and everything. But I've been realizing as she gets older, if you don't give your child a tissue that is comforting to them, they're not going to want they're not going to want their nose touched. Like, I don't know if you try to wipe your kid's nose and they're
No,
like,
it gets
"Ah,
raw
get away
and
from me."
whatever, right,
It gets
yeah.
so red and irritated. So Puffs plus lotion is just really gentle. It's tested by dermatologists to be gentle on the skin. And now Molly, I'm in a fun stage with her. We're just teaching her how to blow her nose, right?
funny, yeah.
And like with kids, you realize how you have to break down every little step of something. So like, you're like, okay, to blow your nose, step 1, get a Puffs tissue. Step 2, close your mouth. Step 3, hold one nostril and blow. Step, to hold the other nostril and blow. Like, you have to break down processes that we do in our everyday lives that you don't realize. So it's really cute. So now she like goes, gets the tissues, takes out like 20, blows her nose, and it goes in through. Like, she learns responsibility by going to the
I love
trash.
that.
But anyway.
I feel like it sounds complicated for a kid. to,
Well,
like,
I mean,
learn all
every
this,
little
but yeah,
step and like how to
oh,
get the
wait.
pressure right. But
But you have to break things down like
and my
that
girls
for
have learned it
kids.
now. The youngest one always comes back to me. She's like, "Sorry, I had to blow. I blued my nose. I
Yeah.
blued my nose." That's how she puts it.
And And if you don't do it gently and use a tissue that's really soft, then they're going to run away and it's going to be a bad experience. And you want your kids to be comfortable.
There we go.
So got to get those plus lotion.
Good stuff. Great to talk to you.
Yes,
thank you so much for being here.
See you again.
Guys, we're out of time now, but coming up tomorrow, we can't wait for John Legend's debut as a coach on The Voice next week. People sat down with him and his fellow coaches, Kelly Clarkson, Adam Levine, Blake Shelton. We'll have all the highlights from that.
Plus, Austin Mahone is here talking about his brand new single called Why Don't We and more. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. See you guys.
Bye, guys.